Yeah, what's up, everybody? We are live, locked in the dungeon on a Saturday night. Want to say what's up to everybody out there and say thank you for tuning into the program on a special night. If you listen to this program, we do a lot of coverage with the Golden State Warriors, and tonight they had the victory of the year over the fifth-seeded Phoenix Suns, who are now 31-22 after losing to the Golden State Warriors 113-112 on a last-second dagger by one Stephen Wardell Curry, and it was beautiful. As fun as it was to watch it on my beautiful 65-inch Samsung, I'm sure it was just as exhilarating, even more, being at Chase Center live, checking that out. But let's be honest. Was anybody surprised that Stephen Curry made that shot? I don't think so. You know, once he got his hands on it and he squared his shoulders and he was able to eyeball the rim, it doesn't matter how far he is from the basket. He's going to make it. You know, the greatest shooter in the history of basketball. And what fun. What a prelude to what's going to take place tomorrow, the Super Bowl between the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. But that was awesome. I mean, there was a picture of Stephen Curry kind of doing his step thing after he makes a big play. And on the periphery, you could see a glimpse of Joe Lacob. And Joe Lacob is not one of these owners that just kind of fell into it and bought the team as an investment. This is a real basketball fan. All right? This is a real basketball fan. And before he was the majority owner of the Warriors, he was an part owner of the Boston Celtics. This guy loves basketball. And I mean, just to see him there soaking it all in like a fan, even though he's the owner of a $7 billion basketball team, was kind of fun to watch. But yeah, great game. Not surprised the Warriors won. I don't bet for a reason because I don't want to lose money. All you got to do is win by one. I don't know what the line was. I have no idea, and I don't care. But I knew the Warriors were going to beat the Phoenix Suns. Why? Because they're better. They're better than Phoenix. And why are they better? Because they have the ability to execute down the stretch with the greatest shooter. As great as Devin Booker is, as great as Bradley Beal is, and Kevin Durant, they don't have the shot-making ability that Stephen Curry has. Or at the very least, they have not exhibited that yet. And, you know, that's why I feel tremendously confident that the Warriors actually can get the 6th seed. I've been mapping this thing out over the past couple of days. And the Warriors are 25-25 now. Last year, the 6th seed that the Warriors were able to get, they needed a record of 44-38. This year, I think they're going to have to win 45 or 46 games to get the 6th seed. And what they have to do, they have to win out of the next 32 games. They got to go either 20-12 or 20-11. And I think they can do it. I honestly do. When you look at the thing that separates the Warriors from a lot of teams that are really good is the depth. They have tremendous depth now. GP2 jumped off my television screen tonight in ways that I was not expecting. Not only did he go 5 for 5 from the field, 11 points, but that Loctite defense that good offensive players hate to be bombarded with, that's what he was giving everybody. He even got on Kevin Durant for a couple of series. So GP2 gives Steve Kerr a lot of confidence and opposing scoring players a lot of headaches. All right. So that's one nugget that the Warriors have. Draymond Green coming back I mean, a lot of fans, the reason why I wanted to do this show is because I wanted to talk basketball. You know, I mean, you can turn on the radio and hear the ebbs and flows. And I did commercial radio for a long period of time. I would do it again. All right. There's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes being a commercial radio sports talk show host, you can find yourself kind of like being like a music DJ where you're playing the hits. You know, the longest you play what people want to hear, then they keep listening. If you have a different opinion or if you want to inject some logic, then they naturally call you a contrarian. That's what you're trying to do. Let me play devil's advocate. No, let me educate you. That's all. I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm educating you because that's the fun part. Or when people educate me. There's nothing wrong with this roster. How many times have people said, well, the Warriors need a big? No, they don't. Why do they need a big? They have 3 bigs. Saric, Looney, Trace Jackson Davis, and the second most unique player that I've ever watched in my life in Draymond Green. The first is Dennis Rodman. If Dennis Rodman played in this era of basketball, in this system with the Warriors, wow. You know, for those of you who are too young enough to have seen Rodman play in his heyday, he would be awesome in this era of basketball because he was so smart and he was so dominant at the areas that matter. Defense and rebounding. Pretty good passer too. And he could finish like Kuminga. So, if I sound excited, I am excited because I can't remember the Western Conference being this competitive in a long time since I've been watching basketball. So, basketball fans out there, buckle up. It's going to be fun. All of this, well, the Warriors are not in the play-in. It's ridiculous. Are you watching basketball? Why do you think OKC just conveniently goes out and get a guy, Gordon Hayward, who hasn't played since the beginning of since Christmas? Because they're looking at their roster, and you know what they're saying? We're not ready for prime time. We need more help. You don't believe me? You need more people. I don't believe you. You need more people, as Jay-Z said. The Dallas Mavericks made some good moves because they have enough scoring. But if you're the Warriors and you look at the trade deadline and you got GP2 for nothing, you got Chris Paul for nothing, you don't need anything else. Now, there's a couple of things that I didn't like. Only a few things. And Stephen Curry, in my opinion, once again bailed out Steve Kerr. As brilliant as Kerr was tonight, he's dogged in his thinking about certain things. And I saw him with his piece of paper in his pocket. I don't know if that was his analytics sheet. I don't know. What I will tell you, the last 2 or 3 minutes in the game, I want Klay Thompson in the game. Particularly if you have a lead. And if he has to be in the game over Brandon Podzinski, then I want him in the game over Brandon Podzinski. If the Warriors are up 6 to 8 to 10 points late and you want Brandon to finish the game out, I have no problem with it. This kid is balling. 10 points. I think 7 assists, 9 rebounds. The The guy's playing his ass off. I'm not debating that. But what I am saying is that he has not played in these high-level finishing moments. He's not as good a free throw shooter as Klay Thompson is. This is the second game that Brandon has been in a position to make a game-ending shot, and he missed. Is he trying to miss a shot? No. But I think Klay should be in the game. The Warriors are up 4 when Brandon missed a wide open jump shot. Now, why is he open? Because Phoenix wanted him to have the ball in his hands. That's why he was open. And Klay was 2 for 10. I get it. But in that situation, the 4-time NBA champion, I still think, when you look at the context of where they were up 4 with 2 minutes to go. I want Klay in the game. My man Brandon Iglesias, thank you for checking me out, brother. I appreciate you so much. Frank, what's up, man? What a win for the Dubs. Yes. Yes. That was awesome. Now, Brian, isn't it an echo in the background of me saying about 1,000 times, I like this roster. They don't need to make a move. They have enough bigs. I don't get personal with people. I don't. But let me say this. I was so happy to see Draymond just thoroughly outplayed Nurkic. Nurkic looked like trash. Not as a person. He's probably a Rhodes Scholar, a wonderful guy, and all that good stuff. As a basketball player, he looked like a dump truck that all of a sudden could not go forward. It could only go backwards. Draymond made him look silly. I loved every bit of it. And I'm sure KD, Bradley Beal, Booker, and even Fogel was saying, damn, I thought this guy could play. He's going to try to one-up Draymond by giving Draymond the small, like the small sign by tapping the floor. I mean, come on, man. Come on, dude. That's another reason why the Phoenix Suns would not beat the Warriors in a 7-game series. No way. They don't match up. What did Phoenix do at the end of the game? They took Nurkic out. Why? Because he was a liability on the court. Let's go out and talk to one of my great friends at this point, the great Mark Graves. Klay needs to take better shots. Too many 4 shots. Okay. Nurkic looked like he was trying to bait Draymond into something. Yeah, he did. And Draymond didn't go for it. Now, Mark, this is what I said. I said Klay was 2 for 10. He was not having a great game. But the last 2 minutes, can you build an argument that Klay should not be in there the last 2 minutes when the Warriors have a lead? When he's likely to get fouled? Or I don't care if Klay is 2 for 10. If Klay has a wide open 3-point shot, unguarded, which will probably not happen because they still respect him. Again, this is the second time that Brandon has been wide open and he's missed. Now you might say you're red. He's going to make the next one. He's capable of making that shot. Yeah, he is. And he made a couple of perimeter shots tonight. But what are the Warriors playing for? It's not loony talk for the Warriors to challenge for the Western Conference Championship, particularly if they get a good first-round matchup. If the Clippers are number 1, right, or Denver's number 1, theoretically, the Warriors would go up against OKC or New Orleans or Minnesota. I like the Warriors against all three of those clubs. I want the Warriors to stay away from the Clippers in the first round and stay away from Denver. I think Dallas is going to surprise some people also. But think about that for a second. Think about Dallas and Phoenix going up against each other, just bludgeoning each other in a 7-game series, just beating the crap out of each other. You think that doesn't help the Warriors? It does. I wish Sacramento would get the 3rd seed again. I don't see that happening. So I'm just like, yo, the way that the Warriors are constructed, they have something that they didn't have last year. They have depth. They are developing and inventing players. Literally, Kuminga and Podzinski, they're like free agents because they were non-factors last year. Podzinski was in college, and Kuminga was nowhere near the player that he is right now. So, 20-12, 21-11. Can the Warriors do that? I think they can. Now, they have a tough roadie on Monday night in Utah. Because Utah plays like they're trying to get out of a burning building. That's how hard they play. The Warriors' next 3 games, they play Utah on the road twice, and they play the Clippers at home on Wednesday. That's going to be another prime time affair. And if you could say anything about the Warriors this year, in national games, they played, regardless of who they played them tough. So the game's going to be close. Can they go 3-0 against Utah and the Clippers? I don't know. It's possible. But they're going to be in every game. I like the prospects of that. Let's take a look at some of the stats from tonight. Stephen Curry had 30, was 9-16 from three-point range. Draymond Green, 15 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, and just incredible defense. Tremendous defense. Brandon Podzinski, I said, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 7 dimes. Brian, we need you, man. Because I know you're going to come in with your take. I love reading your tweets, by the way. Frank, let's pump the brakes on the playoff matchups. They're a 500 team. They've been playing well, 6 out of last 7. But let's see them put together a good month. Well, they're putting together a good month. They won 6 out of 7 games. They almost had an undefeated roadie. They lost to Atlanta, who they basically gave the game away to. Come on, Brian. Brian, you're one of those people that likes to play the Jedi mind trick with yourself. You take a negative take, so what you want to happen will happen. I get it. I totally understand. Now, let me give you some information. Good teams do not play against their opponents. Good teams play against their standard. It always works. I'll give you a perfect example today. Michigan State is playing Illinois. And I didn't even watch the game. I didn't have to watch the game. I knew Michigan State was going to win. Know why? Because this is Izzo's time. You know, they don't have a great roster this year, Michigan State. Illinois is a top 20 team. But this is Michigan State's time. They're playing up to their standard. The Warriors are starting to play up to their standard. It really doesn't matter who they play. And I'm going to say this. To have won 25 games, Brian, that's a big number. The Warriors are not that far from being, top 5 or 6 now? They're not. That's how good the Western Conference is. I don't want to see them outside of the top 6. I mean, Brian, I'm asking you a question. Can the Warriors go 20-12? Can they go 21-11? I think they can. I do. And I'm going to tell you because they had, particularly this last road trip was a big factor in terms of how their season could play out. Now, I'm obviously talking very positively because I'm looking at the best case scenario. If the Warriors lose the next 3 games, 2 to Utah and 1 against the Clippers, then they're in a bad way. But every game from this point on is a playoff game. I love it. Nobody has the depth that the Warriors have. Brian says, Frank. I call it how I see it. They're the 10th seed in the West by half a game. If they go 1-2 in these last 3 games, then they're right back where they were a week ago. Yeah, but why would they go 1-2? Why do you look at it like that? I'm looking at the matchups. You think Utah's better than the Warriors? No, they're not. They're not better than the Warriors. You think the Clippers are better than the Warriors at home? A national broadcast? I don't think so. I don't think so. And because I'm looking at, okay, are the Clippers a really good defensive team? No, they're not. They're not a bad, by statistics, they've been one of the better teams in the NBA this year. I get it. But I'm looking at the matchups. I think the Warriors will play the Clippers tight. Does that mean they're going to win? I can't say that. If you're Steve Kerr and you're Stephen Curry or Draymond, if you can't beat the Utah Jazz, they're pissed off by that. Who does Utah, what, marketing? Draymond's going to guard marketing and hold him, I think, to under 25 points. They got a bunch of young boys. The Warriors should not lose to Utah. When they beat Phoenix, 31-win Phoenix? I don't think so. Abdulio, what's up, bro? Yo, Frank, did you see what Nurkic said about Draymond after the game? No, I didn't. What did he say? Okay. Appreciate you. Here's the Nurkic quote. It's sad. He didn't learn anything. Just a matter of time. He's going to hit somebody else again. Take back everything I said. He don't deserve a chance. Laughing my ass off soft. You know what, Nurkic? I'm not going to act like a fan and just kind of like verbally judo chop you. No, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is, dude, you let your team down. I'm going to talk to you like a real ball player. You let your team down. You had 6 points and got outplayed by a guy who you are 5 to 6 inches taller than. And you tried to bait Draymond. Nurkic should be quiet. and have a conversation with his teammates. Say, yo, fellas, I had a bad game. I apologize. I'm going to come back and play my ass off the next game. That's it. It's all good. You got outplayed before a national audience, Nurkic, against Draymond. He embarrassed you tonight. 15, 9, and 7. Come on, man. Stop it. Brian says, Frank, this team has been inconsistent all year. Okay, Brian, why are you focusing on the past? Why aren't you focusing on now? I never take a negative point of view. I'm a coach. How can you be a coach and take a negative point of view on winning? Can't do it. All you can do is prepare and go out and compete. Now, let's look at the history of the season, Brian. How many games have the Warriors given away this year? They didn't lose those. The Warriors didn't get beat by a lot of teams. They lost a lot of games. They gave games away. They gave 2 games away against OKC. Tonight, they were a little more prepared, a little more focused. I'm not quite sure what Andrew Wiggins was doing, because if he was like, oh yeah, it was a bag of shells, I knew he had a foul to give. I don't believe him. That was not a foul to give play. That was somebody who was holding, who didn't want to make a mistake, who appeared to be a little nervous when he fouled Booker. Or was that Beal? I don't remember who that was. The Warriors were a little lucky because that did not look like a play that you would do if you had a foul to give. But let's go back to the OKC game when Chet Holmgren makes the 3-point shot to send the game into overtime. Come on. Come on. That's not a professional play. And Kerr said it. If I'm coaching the Warriors and that happens to me, just like Kerr said, I'm not sleeping well that night. That's how upset I am. The Warriors should not have lost that game. OKC did not beat them. The Warriors gave that game away. What about the game that Draymond fouls the person on the 3-point pass? And he makes three free throws. Game's over. So let's have some context when we talk about basketball. Inconsistent or ill-prepared, not focused. This team is more focused. This team is playing with more energy. Come on now. Abdulio, Draymond has owned the Nurkic matchup his whole career. Nurkic has never, you know what he is? He's the bearded version of DeAndre Ayton, dominating. That's why they got traded for each other. Both talented guys. DeAndre Ayton is probably even more talented, but not consistent at all. I mean, that quote he had about Draymond is really embarrassing. First of all, you're rooting for one of your union brothers to fail. Come on, man. Come on. I'm going to get a little touchy. All right? Brothers like Draymond Green built the NBA. They welcome you from open arms and everybody else from all over the world to come play in the best basketball league in the world and make money over here that you can't make anywhere else in the world. You got to do better than that. Don't root for a guy to fail. You don't know what's going on with him. I don't like that. I would never root for anybody to fail. I think that's weak, Nurkic. And I guarantee you, KD didn't like it. Bradley Beal didn't like it. Devin Booker didn't like it. Your head coach didn't like it. The owner didn't like it. Who's a Michigan State grad. You're rooting for one of your brothers to fail and have his career blowed up? Please. I don't like that. Abdulio says the Warriors are turning the corner. I repeat, the Warriors are turning the corner. The path forward for Golden State rides on how well they can defend. Yes. And guess what? They're defending a lot better. The best move that the Warriors made at the trade deadline was not trading Andrew Wiggins just because. They didn't have a reason to trade him. Leading up to the trade deadline, he had been playing the best basketball that he had played all season over that 2 to 3 week span. Had he not played so well, I would have had no problem with them trading him. I even said, yo, dude got to go because he wasn't playing. Him refinding his game, becoming re-inspired or whatever happened was great for him, and it was great for the Warriors because now the Warriors have 2 legitimate defensive wings, 6'8" or 9ers, Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga. Their problem. No, they're not better than Paul George and Kawhi, but they can match up. Not many teams can match up on the wings like the Warriors can. And then you got the juggernaut inside in Draymond Green. And you can bring GP2 in and put Clay on the bench at times. This team has the ability to play really good defense. Brian says, I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic. They've given games away. They almost gave away the game tonight with Potts missing a wide open shot with 2 minutes left. I'm not saying they're not playing well. Ryan, you tend to take a negative view on things. I love you. I love you. All right? You have we can do this again. You have an open invitation to come on and we can hug it out over television. But I read all your tweets. You generally have a negative take. It's okay. I just said my deal about Potts. As well as Podziemski was playing, he should not have been in the game with the last 2 minutes. Over Clay? No way. Brian says, they have played better since Draymond, GP2, and JK were inserted in the lineup. I'm a little skeptical that they can keep this up for the next 32 games. I'm excited to watch it, though. Of course you are. Of course you are. And it's okay. I mean, yo, listen. When the Warriors are not playing well, when any team is not playing well, I'm looking behind the scenes. I'm generally a positive person because, again, I'm a coach. And I'm not even being a coach. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. I generally like to look at things from a positive perspective. I do. But I also like to build a thesis. If you have a positive, it's just like Niner fans. You know, when Channel 7 or these networks talk to a Niner fan, oh, who's going to win? Oh, the Niners all the way. Yeah. Can you tell me why, please? Oh, we love Purdy. Yeah, he's our guy. Okay. That's not a thesis. That's a reaction. That's a statement. Build a thesis. You know how to build a thesis, Brian. I respect that. That's why I like reading your quotes. That's why I like putting your stuff out, because you know how to build a thesis. SG, what's up? Hi, Frank. What's up, brother? Mark Graves says, those are words from a guy who got used tonight by Draymond. What did Dre do tonight that would cause him to say that? Nothing. Particularly, here's the deal. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the year if Clutch management said to Nurkic, I don't know if this is the best relationship. They have the same agent. I understand competitive spirit. I get it. Nothing's wrong with it. But be pissed off at yourself because you played like crap. Draymond didn't cause you to play like crap. It's only a matter of time before he does. I mean, come on, man. I don't like that. Not for somebody who's in the inner circle. The guy missed 16 games. Going through therapy and God knows what else. We don't know. I've actually been very pleased from what I've seen from Draymond since he's come back. Because, I mean, he's not like the Michelin Man or the Mercurial Man. I think it's the Michelin Man when, the government did the scientific experiment on the guy and he was inserted into various places. No, he's still Draymond. But he has the ability now, he's shown thus far, to monitor his behavior. And that's what this 16-game hiatus was about. Why would you root for a guy not to be able to do that? We're talking millions of dollars. I don't dig that. Mo, what's up, Mo? Hope all is well, man. Yes, sir. How you doing? Thank you for checking us out. Appreciate you. My man Brian Iglesias says, Frank, I understand your frustration with Pods in the finishing lineup. Okay. Once CP3 gets back healthy, he seems like the guy to finish ahead of Clay and Pods. Great analysis. That's great analysis. That's excellent analysis. If that doesn't happen, I don't think Chris Paul and Steve Kerr are going to be doing lunch anytime soon. You know that, and I know that. These guys and women are fierce competitors. I was watching the clip last night, and they were Black History Month, and they were talking to Serena Williams. And I share a close bond with Serena because she and I have the same birthday, September 26th. And some person said, oh, Serena, you're the best women's player. You're one of the best women's players in the history of the sport. And Serena goes, you know what? I prefer to be known as one of the best tennis players. Fierce. Have you seen that movie with her family, Richard? You know where they started playing on cement with gravel, with grass growing out of the cement? Fierce. These NBA players, when they establish themselves, oh, they go at it. We benefit from it. I could never, ever, one of the things I like to see is when the game is done and you see the embrace. That's just respect, man. Did you guys see Nurkic, embrace anybody after the game? I didn't see it. I saw Bradley Beal and Steph just kind of yo, Kevin Durant was kind of quick. He walked off. But, yo, man, when you battling and you're leaving everything on the court. That's respect. Rooting for somebody to fail because of a non-basketball related thing, that's kind of weak. I don't like that. My man Immortal says, great clothes from the Warriors tonight. A little lucky. I mean, Steph put his cape on again and won another game for the Warriors. Game was over with 2 minutes when the Warriors up 4. Game over. Ball game. Ball game. And they let Phoenix back in it. Give Devin Booker some credit. The thing that has really derailed Devin Booker over the past couple of years was his inability to do what he did tonight. Devin Booker looked like the best player on the Phoenix Suns. Can he sustain it? He hasn't done it in the past. But give him credit tonight. He made big shot after big shot after big shot. And Bradley Beal made a terrible decision to lunge for a steal. Steph was getting a shot up, but we've seen teams bottle him up this year that he did not, in which he did not get a good look. I'm sure Vogel was like, Brad, what are you doing? And I love Bradley Beal. I've had 100 conversations with friends of mine talking about who's a better player, Bradley Beal or Klay Thompson. I've had so many conversations about those two. We know who's had a better career, Klay Thompson. And arguably, it would even be close had Klay not been injured twice. I think that's why I'm so empathetic for Klay. This is a guy who's had injuries that players don't come back from. Achilles? There's only 2 players in the history of the NBA that I can recall who've had Achilles issues and kind of got back to close to their top form. The one who got the closest was Bernard King. Bernard King ruptured his Achilles, came back as a member of the Washington Bullets at the time, and was still an all-star. His career didn't last that long, but he still played really good basketball. The other one is Dominique Wilkins. Dominique ruptured his Achilles, and he came back and had a run with the Clippers, averaged 21, 22 points a game. Not many players can do that. Kobe was never really quite the same. He was still Kobe, but he was never really quite the same. So I'm always going to be empathetic about Klay, always. Because you can take the body and harm the body to the extent that you can't get that back to form to 100%, but you can't change the mentality. He still has the same mentality that he had when he was 26, Game 6 Klay. And nobody can really understand what that's about because we've never been there before. I hope he can make a successful transition. Now, here's the deal about Kerr. The reason why Kerr is such a great coach is because Kerr may be the best in the NBA. There are other great coaches, but Kerr knows how to turn adversity into a picnic. I mean, the Warriors had some terrible losses, and Kerr will sit at the podium at the presser and convince you that it's 85 degrees and it's sunny outside. He has that ability to keep everything calm. You know, I want him to be and the reason why I say that is because we don't know the level of pressure that's on Kerr. Believe me, it's probably a lot. You know, we don't know what Kerr's tenure is beyond this year. We don't. He's a free agent. When Steve Kerr saw the head coach of the Miami Heat, Monty Williams, the coach of the San Antonio Spurs, Popovich, signing these big checks. Kerr's a young guy. What is Kerr, 58? You think he don't want to make $15 million a year? Not a bad gig if you can get it. My man Jimmy says, Frank, what's your Super Bowl score prediction? 31-24, San Francisco 49ers. 31-24. What is yours? Mo says, go Niners, go Warriors. Yeah, man. People who live in this part of the world are lucky and fortunate. Hopefully, that game winner can pass some luck to the Niners. Here's the deal. The Niners are the better team, man. It's the Niners' Super Bowl to lose. They're the better team. And I mean, I don't know how much gold dust people can sprinkle on Kyle Shanahan. I mean, because he's dripping with it now. And in his career, he has not won a Super Bowl. You would think that he has. He has not. I go back to the 3 songs that I always listen to when I want to be inspired. DJ Drama, Waiting for My Moment. Eminem, Lose Yourself. And Nas, One Mic. If I want to get hyped up, I listen to one of those 3 songs. Kyle Shanahan should be listening to one of those 3 songs. Because this is his moment. You know, this is Brock Purdy's moment. I don't know if the 49ers will make another Super Bowl during Brock Purdy's tenure. Why do I say that? Because everything went right for the 49ers this year. Come on, y'all. In a normal year, do they come back against Green Bay? No, they don't. Do they beat Detroit after being down, what are they, 24-3 or whatever it was, 27? No, they don't. It's over. Good night, drive home safely. As my casual friend Larry Beal might say. Good night, aloha, drive home safely. This is their year. SG says, go 49ers. What's on the menu for tomorrow? What are y'all having? I bought, let me tell you something. If you don't have a Safeway, like, special number, you need to get one. Because every Friday, they have some type of special on something, right? I don't know if Safeway's in Arizona or not. I have no idea. But I got one of these special numbers with them. I bought a ton of chicken wings. I bought some ribs. I already got some hot dogs. I got pizza. I got hamburgers. I don't even eat that much. But I'm ready to go. What are you having? I bought all that stuff for $30. I feel like a real G right now. SG's listening to E40. Bang, bang, 9 game. I hear you. Yes. There you go. SG's with it. Safeway has a $5 special. I'm there every Friday, man. I can't get there fast enough every Friday. Mark Gray says, I'm going over really? I'm going over to Dan Coach Amelia's house. Well, that is, yo, man. Say what's up to my man Dan for me. Brian, you down with the Safeway $5 Fridays too? We have that connection as well. That's pretty good. And Mark, thank you. I appreciate it. Yo, Brian. I haven't heard from Vicky in a while. I don't know if she's listening now. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I hope she's doing well. But I lost a bet to Vicky, right? And I forgot what the bet was, but I lost a bet to her. She DM'd me, sent me her address, and for me, it was going to be a dinner, but I lost. She had named the restaurant and the whole deal. All she wanted was a 49ers hat, very clear specifics that she wanted. I bought the hat, shipped it to her. She got it, and presumably she's enjoying it. I lost a bet to you also. And I asked you to just send me your address and I'll, I think it was like a $25 gift card or something like that. I'm a little unnerved by not finishing all of my bets. So you get around to it, just send me your address and I'll send you a gift card to somewhere of your choice or a gift card anyway. All right? Because I lost. Having slow cooked ribs tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I bought ribs from Safeway, so I'm good. Mark says, I only buy items on sale at Safeway. No, I'm the only one too. Yeah, I don't even shop there. I don't like go shopping at Safeway, but I go there on Fridays to take advantage of the $5 special deal. I love it. All right. Good job. SG says you're awesome. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. No better than you. No better than anybody else. But, yo, man, if you're courageous enough to make a bet, why not pay your bets? Like you, SG, you lost a bet to me. You've never paid me. You never brought anything up. You've never tried to make it right. It's all good. But you never tried to make it right. SG's like, yo, Red, you put me on Front Street, man. No, I'm just telling the truth, homeboy. SG said, do you like buffalo chicken wings? Yes, I bought a bunch of them. Which is why I worked out last night and I had a great workout today because I know that I'm going to enjoy some football tomorrow, and I'm not going to eat like outrageously gluttonous. I don't know if that's a word or not, but no, I'm not going to be a glut. But I got enough food, good stuff, where I can relax and watch football and have a nice meal. I'm going to be at home. I'm not going anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere. Me and my 65-incher. It's going to be fun. As she says, I'm going to Big Al's, which is a restaurant sports bar. Good for you. Good for you. The pageantry is part of it. That's part of it. I used to do more of that, and I still would if I had planned something with someone, but I'm just gonna chill and watch football, man. Have a great time and take it all in. I want the Niners to win. If they don't, it's not gonna crush me. But if the Niners win it, it will slow down some of the Pat Mahomes is the football god conversation. Because that gets ridiculous. Dude got a long career. Here's the deal. Remember when Brady didn't win a Super Bowl for like 10 years? Got off, was gangbusters. Still viewed as the certainly one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Joe Montana is my best quarterback of all time. But Brady's had the best career of any quarterback in the history of the NFL. You can't even debate that. But at their best, I'll take Joe Montana all day. And I'm sure thousands of others would take, millions of others would take Brady, and that's fine. They're both outstanding. My man Jimmy says, I don't want to hear any Mahomes-Brady comparison until he wins 5 rings. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Even if he wins tomorrow, I think there's a good chance that Big Red, Andy Reid, might retire. He's 64. I don't know what kind of health. Hopefully he's in great health. But, he's 64. Maybe he'll hang on. I don't see any reason why he shouldn't hang on. But he's closer to the end than he is the prime of his career. And what a great career he's had. He's had 2 Hall of Fame coaching careers. He was outstanding in Philly. Went to a Super Bowl. Didn't win one there, but took his team to a Super Bowl. And then he goes to KC and, turns their history around. I'm a big Andy Reid guy. Big on him. Help me out. Patrick Willis was nominated into the Hall of Fame, right? Or does he have to, or is he on the list and then they chop it down? I wasn't quite sure about that. I was like, well, I'll ask folks on the show tonight to help me out. Mark Graves, you probably know, or some of you other folks out there know. Help me out. Is Patrick Willis going to be in the Hall of Fame? Is that done? He was a Pro Bowler 7 of the 8 years that he played. Okay, he made the Hall of Fame. He made the Hall of Fame. That is awesome. More 49er glory. I didn't realize that he was a Pro Bowler 7 of the 8 years that he played. And one of the things that I really admire about Patrick Willis is, if you watch documentaries, you know about his beginning in Mississippi. Tough upbringing. And for him to ascend to where he is. And then there are countless stories about how he was able to transition from professional football into high tech. I don't know what the truth is. It was some conversations out there, rumors that he simply had a next door neighbor who was a friend of his who kind of gave him an opportunity to go into high tech. I don't know. But I love it when professional athletes are able to transition well. Because so many of them don't and can't. That's one of the things about YouTube and being in the era of content creation where professional athletes are developing their own content, their own shows, because they sometimes would tell stories that we wouldn't otherwise hear. Some of the stories are really sad. I mean, literally, some of the podcasts that some of these guys do, it's like a godsend for them. They got, again, they talk about schedules and routines. I'm happy for them, even though it's not going to work for everybody. Because the question that I ask is, would you do it if there wasn't like a brand that says, listen, we want to put hundreds of thousands of dollars behind you to get you out there, Would you do it from scratch like most of us do? This is episode 64, y'all. You know how hard it is to build an audience? It's pretty hard. But it's fun when you're focusing on the content. I'm not really focusing on anything else. But yeah, I'm happy that social media and content creation is giving some athletes who otherwise would not have a second act. Like some people look at Cam Newton kind of strange. Not as much now because Cam Newton has established himself. Cam Newton is very entertaining. I don't agree with everything he says, but you don't agree with everything that I say. That's not the point. Cam Newton has a really good brand and does a really good show. A lot of people are surprised by that. Now we need to get Roger Craig into the Hall of Fame. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, one fumble against the Giants should not derail a Hall of Fame career. He not only fumbled against the Giants, he got traded, a cut. I'm with you. Can you imagine how different Roger Craig's life would be had he not fumbled against the Giants? I mean, Jerry Rice, it appears, I don't know, he seems to do all right just being Jerry Rice. I don't know what he makes. I don't know if he makes anything. But his life appears to be pretty good just being Jerry Rice. Kind of like Lawrence Taylor. Just being LT. I would love to see Roger Craig prominently living up 49er folklore. Even Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens, you know what? He did something courageous by having his Hall of Fame induction at his alma mater, and it has not hurt him one bit. It actually has helped him. You see T.O. donning 49er jerseys and sponsorships, and this dude's doing all right. I'm happy. I love it when athletes win. As she says, there is a Beyond Football program encourages San Jose State University student athletes to explore the campus, the city of San Jose and the Bay Area to discover what these communities have to offer. All right. Thanks for that. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. I think we've done everything that we need to do tonight. I wanted to come on and give folks an opportunity to enjoy the Warriors' victory a little bit more and talk specifically about some of the things that have transpired and touch on the 49ers a little bit. And KC Chief fans, if you're out there, listen, if you show up, you can win, right? And if you have the best quarterback in the NFL, you got a good chance, right? So it should be a fantastic game. I said 31-24, 49ers. I'm going to go with that. All right? I want to thank everybody for checking me out tonight. If you like the show, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you don't subscribe, you like the show, then hit that button as well. All right? My name is Frank Red. If you're listening for the first time, hit me up at Big Frank Red on X, Twitter. I might actually... Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you, brother. And SG says, I love the Dungeon show. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I actually might do a show tomorrow. I don't know. Just as kind of like counter programming, because they're going to, everybody and their mom's going to do a show tomorrow. And some people might not get their thoughts out there, so our show's not so big to the point where you can't have a conversation. You can't get your thoughts out there. So, who knows? Maybe I'll pop up tomorrow. We can kind of preview the Warriors a little bit on the tail end of the show after talking about the Super Bowl outcome. So we'll see. All right. With that said, I want to say success in getting paid is a manifestation of the whole process. If you as an individual don't do things to help other people make their lives better, as far as I'm concerned, you haven't done nothing. My name is Frank Red. Hit the like button. I'm trying to run these numbers up. And subscribe to the channel if you like it. Beyond that, peace. Have a nice evening. I'll talk to you later. Ghosts.